Hey friends, hope you're doing fine. Today I'd like to discuss with you why the new formatting pane, which you can actually tick if you go to the preview features in the Power BI, is currently not an option for me. So why is that? So you'll see that if I go to insert here and take a look at the options I have here, I have text box, buttons, shapes, images. And by the way, under buttons, I have the option to use the new navigator button, like I've done here on the side, which is my page navigation. And if you want to know how to build this, want to learn more about this, take a look at the last video. Now, if I go to the button options here, for instance, and if I check any kind of the buttons, let's say here the information button, I take this option and I add it here. And of course I can customize this, I can drag it around, I can make it bigger and smaller and so on. That is totally fine. You see that if I check the box here, that because I checked the preview features, and for this you need to have the November 2021 edition, but if I check the preview features and tick on the new formatting pane, I'll see that for the format button here, the pane looks different from the one before. And you see that you got the button here and you got a general tab. And for the button, you can click on shape here as an example, and then you can customize here the states. As you know, there are various states for the button. So if someone hovers over the button, what should happen? If someone presses the button, what should happen? Or if the button is disabled, what this should then happen. So do you want to change, for instance, the font if you add some text to it, or do you want to change the color? All this can be customized, which is really nice and helpful and creates a great visual aspect, I think, and adds to your report. You can change the shape here, rectangle, and so on. And also Power BI has done a great job here by adding additional shapes, because at the past there were only a few shapes available, but now there are more of them. Now all this is fine, and also rotation is fine. Okay, I can find here more about rotation. I can find about the style here, again for the app, various styles. We discussed them. I can change the font here for the text and so on. I have here an icon. Do you want to take it off? Then you see that the icon is gone. Or you want to enable it here for the icon, and also want to change the color here and so on. So all this is fine. And I thought that's quite interesting and really helpful, and is a better overview, I think. Also looks a little bit nicer. And then I went to the general tab and also saw here, okay, header icons, currently turned off. You can turn them on if you want, and then change around with the color and so on. So a lot of customization techniques. And as I said before, all this is fine. But the problem was when I then thought, okay, now I have my button, and now I actually want to trigger something. Like, you know, with buttons, we can add, for instance, page navigation to a button. We can trigger bookmarks with a button. We can do any other kind of actions with a button, right? So web URL and so on. So a lot of options which are great to use, right? And can enhance the whole report. However, one of the biggest bugs so far is that the action settings are not available in the new interface. So if you take a look at the various options you have, and by the way, you can click the three dots here and say let's collapse all categories. So you have the default setting again, which is also helpful. But if you can create a button, but then you can't add any kind of trigger to it, right? No action. So navigation, for instance, or so page navigation or a bookmark and so on. So all these options, if they are currently not available from this interface, then what's the point actually, right? So I was really confused because I searched for it through all the options we had. So all these kinds of, I checked all the boxes, I went into rotation, I expanded everything. So expand all categories, right? And I was searching for all the options here around from where's the action, how can I trigger something? And then I went to the Power BI homepage and they said as a known issue, under known issues, it was posted that currently the actions are not available in the new interface. So that's really my main issue here. That's the main bug. So it's quite kind of interesting to implement a new interface, which should help people in finding actually the specific option to customize things easier. If they manage to do this, well, time will tell. I think it's still a lot of information here, and I think it's still the best option to search via the search bar. But of course, you need to know what to search for. But as long as the option to then trigger an action is not available, the whole new interface is just, it doesn't for me at least, it's not really helpful. It doesn't mean anything. So I can't use it. That's basically my point. So that's just what I wanted to post here. And of course, I'm fully aware that Power BI will certainly implement this in the near future. But as long as this is not available, I just want to mention this, then this whole new interface is not really helpful. And just in case you don't know that, be aware of that, okay? So if you want to check it out, just check the checkbox and its preview features, have a look at it, but be aware that the actions are currently not available. And that's the main flaw, right? Okay, so that's it. Hopefully that was interesting, and as always, take care, and please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and otherwise, see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.